What's good with the fight fans, man? It's Kijana back with another fight card prediction. UFC on ESPN 30, Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze, the main event. This is going to be my main card predictions. So, yeah, I'm going to jump straight into it. First fight, Mahmoud Murdoch versus Gerald. I don't even have to talk too much about this one because everybody knows what Gerald is coming to do. He's coming to get a submission victory. That's pretty much his game plan in every single fight. His hands don't look too good. He doesn't really look like he progresses much with his hands. He doesn't move his head. We seen that when he fought Hamzat Chimaev. Fucking slept him. He fucking circled right into his right hand. Didn't move his head. Didn't try to fucking do anything really. Didn't get a chance to do anything. He just backed himself into the cage and got slept. He does have a 32-14 record, which is pretty impressive. He's been fighting for a minute. He has a shitload of submission victories. Mahmoud Murdoch is 25-6 record. But yeah, GM3, I mean, he's got probably the most submission victories I've seen by a single person in the UFC. He's got, other than like Jim Miller or something. 24 submission victories, 6 KO/TKO wins, 3 KO/TKO losses, and 8 submission losses. So yeah, he likes to work his ground game. And his last win was to Petrovsky, which was his last fight by guillotine choke in the first round. And his last loss by KO was Hamzat back in September of 2020. Ian Heinisch knocked him out as well. Deron Wynn got submitted by him by a rear naked choke. It seems like that's really his go-to, is a guillotine or a rear naked choke. Anaconda chokes, arm triangle chokes. Yeah, that seems like it's his go-to. But I'm rocking with Mahmoud Murdoch on this one. I think he gets it done. I think he keeps it on the feet, and I think he gets a KO victory in the first or second round. He has 17 KO wins, 3 submission victories, 3 submission losses, and 1 KO/TKO loss. He's on a crazy win streak right now. Fucking, I don't even know how many wins it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 win streak, 14 fight win streak. He's 3-0 in the UFC. He beat Alicia DeCirco by decision on his UFC debut. He beat Trevor Smith, Hot Sauce Smith, by KO in the 3rd round, and he beat Andrew Sanchez, which was a pretty good performance because Andrew Sanchez actually progressed a little bit by TKO, flying knee and punches in the 3rd round. So a lot of his fights are actually in the 3rd round, which is pretty surprising. A lot of 1st round and 3rd round victories, but it looks like he has a lot of 3rd round wins. I haven't watched all of his fights. But I've watched probably, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 of his fights, and most of them he looks good. He's got pretty decent footwork. He knows how to cut the cage off. So yeah, I think he gets it done, man. I really do think he gets it done in this one. I think he gets a KO victory over Gerald. But every single time I pick against GM3, he tends to pull off some miraculous fucking submission victory. So I mean, don't count him out. But Mahmoud has a 5-inch leg reach advantage. And Gerald has a 2-inch arm reach advantage. So I wanted to see what Mahmoud's takedown defense looks like, though. He's 100% takedown defense on the UFC website. I don't know how accurate that is, but I don't really see him getting taken down in too many of his fights. So yeah, man, I definitely, it's going to be hard for Meerschaert to take him down. He has the height advantage by one inch as well. So yeah, Mahmoud all the way on that one for me. I'll probably put him in a few parlays. Next fight, Andre Petrovsky versus Michael Gilmore. Andre Petrovsky just did not. I mean, I know he was the number 1 pick for the Ultimate Fighter. Their number 1 pick for the Ultimate Fighter. He has a 5-1 record, and Michael Gilmore, the guy who's fighting, has a 6-3 record. He just lacks cardio, man. That's the main thing I worry about. Because like after the first round, I forgot who he fought. Who was it that he fought? He's on this card too. Brian Battle. When he fought Brian Battle, he looked great in the first round, but then he gassed himself out in the 2nd round and got submitted. So it's like, I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't know how fast he's gonna be able to improve his cardio, and I don't know, man. I think if Michael Gilmore can withstand the storm of the first round and a half, he has a chance of beating him in the later rounds, possibly getting a decision victory. But Gilmore doesn't. He's not a powerful striker. I don't see him getting a KO over Andre. I see the best way to victory for him is getting a split decision win or a unanimous decision win. He has 3 decision wins and 3 KO/TKO wins. He has 3 submission losses, so that's already a bad sign. And just because I see that and the types of submissions he's losing by is guillotine choke, triangle choke, I'm probably gonna rock with. I'm gonna rock with Andre Petrovsky on this one. I think he gets it done. I think as long as he can kind of pace himself and not gas himself and burn his arms out in the first round trying to get a submission victory, I think he can get the job done. Hopefully he gets a first or second round submission victory, because his grappling is pretty good. He's strong in clinch situations. He's just not, his cardio is just kind of shit, dude. That's the only thing that I worry about with picking him. And that's not the only fight that he's showed cardio issues. There's been a few other ones too. But he's pretty much, he's only 30 years old. He's in his prime, so he's fighting a 34-year-old. I just don't see what Michael Gilmore has to offer. He has decent leg kicks. If he's going to try to kick him to the body or anything like that, he's probably going to get taken down. I could see Petrovsky catching one of the kicks and taking him down and getting a single leg, because Petrovsky seems like that's his number one takedown, is the single leg. Tries to get you up against, back you up against the cage and go for the single leg, or try to, or a double leg, but mostly single legs is what I've noticed. So I think he's gonna go for that and probably get a submission victory within the first 2 rounds. I hope. Next fight. This one I'm really fucking looking forward to, man. Daniel Rodriguez just fought, dude. This guy's a fucking savage. He's fighting Kevin Lee. I used to be a bigger Kevin Lee fan, but I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Lee anymore. I don't know why. I'm still a fan of him, but just something I don't know, man. His personality just kind of turned me off a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of him anymore. A real cocky fighter. And sometimes I like cocky fighters and shit like that, but I like it when they can back it up a little bit, and I like when they're active. Kevin Lee's been gone for a little while. His last win was to Gregor Gillespie by a vicious fucking head kick. I thought for sure Gregor Gillespie was going to beat him in that fight. I thought he was going to wear his ass out, because Kevin Lee's known to have cardio issues once it hits the 3rd round, sometimes even the 2nd round. Looks like he's fixed that from his training regimen and whatnot. He lost to Charles Oliveira in his last fight by guillotine choke in the 3rd round. I think he had staph infection or something like that during that fight. He does have an 18-6 record. And before Gregor Gillespie, he got arm triangle choked by Rafael Dos Santos. He looked like he gassed out in that one. And he got beat by unanimous decision by Al Quinta. But he did beat Edson Barboza before that by TKO, doctor stoppage. So, I mean, he lost the triangle choke by Tony Ferguson. He was on a 5-fight win streak before that to Michael Chiesa, Trinaldo, Magomed Mustafayev, Jake Matthews. I mean, he's fought in some really good opponents in this division. I just don't feel like Kevin Lee has the best chin. He was on wobbly legs, I think once or twice when he fought Edson Barboza, and a few other fights as well. He does leave his chin high. I think he's probably improved, but if Daniel Rodriguez can just keep the fight he's going to be hard to take down. I don't think Daniel Rodriguez is going to be an easy person to take down. He's kind of a wide body. He's pretty tall. He's got 8 KO/TKO wins. He's got one of the best jabs in the division. His boxing fundamentals are great. His footwork is great. He actually moves his head. He doesn't have a ton of cauliflower ear, so you know he doesn't get hit a lot, and he doesn't get put in grappling situations too much. So, and he has 4 submission victories. So that's actually pretty fucking good, dude. He beat Tim Means by guillotine choke. I remember that. That was on his debut. That was a very impressive performance. He beat Dwight Grant. He did get rocked in that fight. But he came back and fucked Dwight Grant up against the cage and fucking knocked his ass out. He should be undefeated, in my own opinion, in the UFC, because the Nicholas Dalby fight was kind of a robbery. I don't see that he lost that fight. His output wasn't as good as some of the other fights that he's fought in, like Mike Perry. He had a high output. All these other fights, he had high output. But the Nicholas Dalby fight wasn't. I don't know. It didn't seem like his output was as high, but I'm pretty sure that he did score more significant strikes than Nicholas Dalby, and I thought he won the fight. I picked him against Dalby to win, so I still think that he won that, and he's pretty much undefeated in my eyes in the UFC, and everybody that he's fought has been good. Tim Means, Gabriel Green is decent. Dwight Grant's pretty good. He's a top prospect in that division. Mike Perry was good. I don't know. He's been kind of hit or miss the last few fights he's been in, so it seems like he doesn't fight that much anymore. Preston Parsons was his last fight, but he beat him by TKO in the 1st round. So, I mean, and this dude's got fucking cardio. So I'm rocking with D-Rod all the way, man. I think he gets it done. He's gritty. He's tough. He can take a punch. He's got decent head movement. As long as he keeps keeps the fight standing, I think he can wear on Kevin Lee, especially with his fucking jab. But it might be an issue a little bit because Kevin Lee is the shorter fighter, but he has a 3-inch reach advantage with his arms. He's got long ass fucking arms. And what I remember is, yeah, D-Rod does have good takedown defense. On the UFC website, it says 83%, so it's probably around that. And I don't see him trying to take Kevin Lee down, so Kevin Lee's probably going to look to take Daniel Rodriguez down and try to get a submission victory or some type of ground and pound, which it's possible Kevin Lee can fucking do that for sure. And it's a short notice fight for Daniel Rodriguez. I think Lee was supposed to fight somebody else. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then he was asking to fight Mike Perry as well, but Perry just didn't want to fight him or something, or it was just too short notice a fight for him to get into the shape that he wants, or the weight cut or anything like that. But yeah, D-Rod all the way, man. I haven't picked against them yet. I'm not planning on picking them against them anytime soon. Next fight, Ricky Turcios versus Brady Highstand. I think that's how you say both their names. Ricky Turcios is 10-2 record. Brady Highstand's 5-1 record. Brady actually looked pretty good on the Contender Series, or not the Contender Series, but the Ultimate Fighter 29. I think it was 29. I think Brady wins this, man. I think Brady wins this with his grappling. Ricky Turcios is more of a point fighter. He goes to decision a lot. I like his nickname too, Bam Bam. That's like Tai Tuivasa. So he has 2 KO victories, 2 submission victories, 1 KO/TKO loss, and that was to Chad and Helliger in the 3rd round back in 2019. Yeah, this guy's pretty fucking. He got guillotine choke win and a rear naked choke win. He's pretty good at keeping top position and top control when he's on the ground, and his striking actually looks decent too. He's more of a pressure fighter. Turcios tries to strike from the outside. He's got decent footwork. He doesn't throw many punches. He throws mainly kicks, and the kicks don't look super powerful. He throws a lot of leg kicks, a lot of teep kicks, roundhouse kicks to the body. I mean, yeah, he has 3 KO/TKO wins and 6 decision victories, 1 submission win, 1 KO loss. I see Brady Highstand beating him viciously in this fight. I really do. I feel like it's going to be a stoppage within the 1st or 2nd round, especially if he gets him to the ground and he just gets top position and just rains punches on his face. Yeah, I'm rocking with him on that one. I'm actually going to pick him in my parlay. I'm pretty confident in that pick. Turcios has good footwork, though. He does have good kicks as well. Like I said, it's just, I think Brady's going to win this one. I think he takes it. Next fight, Brian Battle, the biggest underdog on the show, versus Gilbert Urbina. Urbina, it shows that he doesn't have a KO loss, but he does have a KO loss. They just don't put it on here because it wasn't, I guess they don't put the record from the season on here, but it says he's 6-1. He shouldn't be 6-1. He lost to Trayshawn. He got slept in the 2nd round by a fucking counter left. Yeah, Trayshawn Gore was the one who defeated him, and he just doesn't move his head. He got knocked down, I think, twice in that fight by stiff jabs. And I see Brian Battle just backing him up the whole entire fight and fucking using his range, using his footwork. He's probably going to have better cardio, I think. Yeah, man, he's 6'2". He's pretty tall. Brian Battle, I'm picking him versus Gilbert Urbina. I feel like a lot of people are going to pick Urbina. He's 6'3". He's tall for the division as well. He only has 1 decision loss. That's what it says on here. But like I said, he did get slept on the show. So I just don't see him winning this one. I see Brian Battle winning, and I see the underdog taking the whole fucking shit. And he wants it more, I think. I think he wants it more. He has 3 submission victories, only 1 submission loss, and 1 KO/TKO win. Yeah, I'm rocking with him. All right, main fucking event. Let's go, dude. Edson Barboza versus Gige Chikadze, ranked 9 versus ranked 10. Gige's finally getting a chance to fight somebody worthy, like a worthy opponent, dude. This is nice to see that. I think he's 6-0 in the UFC. Barboza's been around for a fucking while. 22-9 record, a lot of KOs. 13-2 record for Gige Chikadze. 8 KO/TKO wins, 1 submission victory, 1 submission loss, and 1 decision loss. He's never been KO'd. That's a really good sign. And he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. He's on an 8 fucking fight win streak right now. And some of the opponents that he's beaten in the UFC have been pretty decent, man. He beat Brandon Michael Davis by split decision. He does go to split decision a lot, I noticed. He beat him on his debut. He beat Jamal Emmers by split decision, which a lot of people said Jamal probably should have won that fight. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Irwin Rivera, he beat. That was on a short notice fight, and Irwin Rivera actually looked decent. He was trying to pressure him the whole fight. He just couldn't withstand those kicks that... I guess he could withstand it because he went to unanimous decision, but Giga Chikadze was just throwing really fucking good body kicks, and that's what he does. He goes to the body with the kick, and then he goes to the head, and that's where he catches you slipping. And he's got some head kick knockouts. One to Jamie Simmons and Cub Swanson. That fucking body, that liver kick was so nasty, dude. Most people picked Cub Swanson in that one. I ended up picking Giga Chikadze. I thought that his kickboxing and his range was too much for him. And he beat Omar Morales. I picked Omar Morales in that fight against him, which I don't know why. I just thought that Omar was gonna be able to pressure him more and back him up, and he did try to pressure him, but just those kicks and his range, and I don't know. Giga has a weird kind of kickboxing style. But Barboza has looked really good lately, man. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He beat Mahmoud and Amirkhani. Amirkhani has horrible cardio. He always gasses out, especially if it stays standing. And Shane Burgos by KO, which was a very delayed KO reaction. I've never seen anything like it. I picked Shane Burgos in that fight to beat Barboza. Everybody told me not to pick him. They said pick Barboza in that one because of his kicks and his hands. He's a precise fucking striker. But he was on a 3-fight losing streak before that. He got KO'd by Justin Gaethje. Went to split decision with Paul Felder. And that was a very close fight. A lot of people said that Barboza should have won it, but it is what it is. And then Dan Ige beat him by split decision as well. And a lot of people said he should have won that one as well. So a lot of the split decisions that he's lost haven't been too bad. He lost to Kevin Lee by doctor stoppage back in 2018, and he lost to Khabib. Everybody remembers that one. He just got mauled and couldn't do anything on the ground. Beat Dan Hooker, punch to the body. So whenever he fights anybody that's a kickboxer or tries to stand with him, he usually beats him. I mean, honestly, he usually beats him. Paul Felder is just one of those guys that can take a lot of punishment, and so is Dan Ige. But if he runs into somebody that can really kickbox too, they have a chance of beating Edson Barboza. But something's telling me to pick Barboza in this one. Pick the veteran. Pick the craftier striker. Giga is really good from the outside, and I think he does have a reach advantage in this fight, if I'm not mistaken. 6 foot. He's got a height advantage. 5'11". No, Edson Barboza actually has a reach advantage by 1 inch, so that's interesting. Yeah, I'm rolling with Edson Barboza. I think Barboza is going to be the underdog in this one. So if he is, man, that's money right there. I mean, if you're going to do a parlay, maybe do a switch out, maybe do a few other picks and do that last main event pick as a switch out, or just pick one with your most confident one as your main event pick or whatever, and then pick all the different fighters or whatever, if that makes any sense. And then just don't do a switch out. Just pick your main one and then do a parlay without the main event in it. That's usually how I do mine, and that's how you win this cash. That's how you get this bag. Yeah, those are my fight predictions, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, my merch is gonna be dropping pretty soon. Strange Minds clothing. So I'm gonna put the link to the shit in my bio pretty soon for the merch drop. And I think that's all, man. I'm ready to watch the fights. So stay safe, guys.